Afternoon, everyone. I'm the Mystery. We are just about to talk to two, definitely maybe three people with one of the hottest singles that dropped today. It's all the way from Mozambique. We've got 40D, based in Angola, Flaton Fox, both of them. You know them extremely well. 40D, that last Atal single. If you're a drums radio fan, you know we've been banging it out. A-list rotation. Flaton Fox releases series Paducos, so you know this is the real stuff. I'd like to welcome you to First Play, third edition. Let's welcome the guys back.
Hey,
Flatten,
hey, hey,
we can't
hello
see
everybody.
you. 40, nice to see you.
Hello,
It's a
hello.
pleasure to
Nice
meet
seeing you
you.
too.
Yes,
The pleasure
thank
all
you, sir.
mine.
Welcome.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I'm humbled. Welcome to Drums Radio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Finally,
Oh,
though.
gosh. Yes, exactly. Firstly, I'd like to apologize to you and the
Yeah,
listeners. We had some technical
yeah,
difficulties. I
right.
won't even go into details
Yeah,
because, you know, all we can say is act of God, right?
that's it.
All
That's
we
it.
can
And
say is act of God. Act
thank
of
God
God.
we're here now.
Yes, but we're here now. It's Friday
Yeah,
the 19th. This is
yeah.
release day. Wild
Release day.
Cry.
Exactly.
Banger
Exactly.
of a
Exactly.
single.
Oh, thank you.
Collaboration.
Thank you.
Oh, very welcome. Af- Afro
Thank you.
Tech. This feels like this Afro Tech is the honey of the moment. People
Yeah,
can't get
actually it is.
enough. They can't get enough of it. So,
Yeah, actually,
tell me,
exactly.
t- tell me who you are, where you're from, what you've been up to
Yes.
before we get talking.
No, all right. Well, my name is 40D, and dance music producer. That's how I label myself. And I started this production thing a while ago, about a while ago. But 2020 was the year that we decided to finally push it, to the market and bring it with a new face. And I guess it was I was fortunate to have a few releases, causing a little bit of commotion last year as well. And when things happen that way, then you get more stimulus. That's the stimulus for you to carry on. And today, this is where we are. This is where we at.
So, Wild Cry.
Yeah, Wild Cry. We
Yeah,
finally
Wild
here.
Cry. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. So, Wild Cry is a collaboration between two producers and a vocalist,
Yes.
or how did that work? How does that work?
Well,
Who did?
exactly. That's it. That's it. Exactly. Two producers and a vocalist. How did this came about? It was actually Flaton. Flaton was the main guy behind this thing, because if it wasn't for him, Wild Cry wouldn't be here, wouldn't
Oh,
exist. Maybe,
okay.
maybe it would be a different collaboration, a different sound, but he was the trigger to everything.
Okay.
So he sent me the like a sort of a foundation to the beat. It was about I think that was June or July, something like that. And I had to sit with it, so I had to work and add my twist to it. Then when I finally got to, because I was still in Cape Town at the time. Then when I finally got to Mozambique, that's when I sat down and actually got to work on the beat. Um, so when I started doing that, I did that. I ended up, closing the whole thing, and I sent it back to Flaton. Flaton loved it. He was like, "Okay, we can release this thing the way it is." But then something hit me. I was like, because a friend of mine called Simba, back in Mozambique, shout out to Simba if he's watching this. He was the one who said to me, right as I got to Mozambique, he was like, "Man, you need to know this thing. Do you know Rhodaalia?" I was like, "No, I don't know Rhodaalia." I was like, "Man, you need to meet Rhodaalia, man. She's talented and this and that, that, that." I was like, "Okay, let's schedule a meeting and let's see how things go." So I ended up meeting Rhodaalia, and in the middle of that, I she recommends that I go. She suggests that I go to YouTube and check her stuff. And I finally checked her stuff, and she's really really talented. He was right on that. And we
Cool.
kept on talking. There was front to back, this and that. I went back to Flaton and I was like, yo, man, I think we can add a little bit of that, that shine to this whole thing. And that's when
Nice.
I scheduled a session with Rhodaalia, got the vocals in, sent it back to Flaton. Flaton loved it, and yeah, Wild Cry was there.
Well, I was there. So while we
Yeah.
wait for the other two, hopefully, peeps, you know what it's
Hmm.
like. This is some
Yeah.
global stuff. So
Yeah.
the internet, it never plays ball when you want it to.
Yeah.
So it's quite possible that Flayton and Rhodaalia may not be able to join us, but we'll keep
Yeah.
pushing on. And if they do join us, you'll meet them a little bit later. So please do bear with
Sure.
us.
Sure.
So Rhodaalia, was she the only vocalist that you considered for this? Because she has kind of like jazzy roots, right? And she sings in
Yes,
a
she
number of
does.
languages.
She does.
Okay.
She does exactly. She was the only one because, as I said before, initially there was no plan of having a vocalist on the whole track. That's why you have on that single on the EP you have two versions, which is one with the vocals and the other one the dub version, just a clean the beat just banging.
Yeah.
And that was the initial idea that Flayton brought to the table. He was like, let's just keep it plain, and let's take it like this. And as soon as I brought the other, I mean the beat with Rhodalia's vocals, that's when he was like, okay, cool, we can take both of them. We just release them like this, you know.
Nice. Nice.
So she was the only one in there.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because she's worked, Rhodaalia, she's worked with some amazing people.
Yes.
I remember reading through her, from her bio, and her music is very Don Laka, Judy Boucher. Judy
Mm-hmm,
Boucher,
mm-hmm,
that's kind of like, that's
yeah.
kind of old time reggae, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
the
She's
you
been
know man,
around.
yeah, yes, the
Mm,
broad, and she
mm.
sings in so many languages. So did you
She
did you
does.
have to did you have to choose which language she sang in? It feels really weird
Um.
talking about her when she's not here.
Yeah. True. And that she would be the best person to answer that. But uh, for what I know through the conversations we've had in the studio and outside, it's like she when it came to the point where we because we were trying to merge the way we felt about the beat about the song.
Okay,
So
so
we got to
tell me about that. Tell me how
yeah,
did you
yeah,
feel? What was the
yeah,
approach to the song?
exactly. We just believe me, we just went to the studio and we started playing the track there,
Hmm.
and she was sitting on one end, I was on the other, and we just believe me, we closed our eyes and we started vibing.
Oh wow.
So I'm that guy that if a beat is playing, I can just spit melodies out. That's normal.
Okay. Okay.
And she was drinking from that. She was just sucking from that, and putting words into it. So
Okay.
she started. She was saying stuff, and from that point, we ended up creating the theme for the song, which was the Wild Cry. But
Okay.
if you listen to the lyrics of the song, it's all about a lioness and the fierceness. Is that it?
Yeah. We
Fierceness
can we
of the
can work with that.
lioness.
We can work with
you know,
that.
yeah, of the lioness, and just doing the it's like in all it's a personification of a woman.
Oh, so
How
perfect
strong
month. Perfect month
exactly.
to release.
So how,
Wow.
how strong a woman can be. But in that whole thing, we were looking at a lioness and talking about the lioness, the strength of a lioness, the precision of the lioness, the roar of a lioness, the presence and everything, the way she walks, the way she moves, this
Okay.
presence, and she's
Love that.
fierce and she knows how to conquer. And
Right.
we put all these things together, and since she is the one that has a catalog of dialects and languages on her on her book, then we just decided that we would go with the one that fits best with that track, or
Okay.
the one that came freely, normally. And Xhosa was the language then.
Okay. How do we say that? Kosa.
Xhosa, yeah.
Kosa.
I'm not even
Kosa.
the best one. It has the click to it. I learned this when I was back in Cape Town. It's
Kosa.
Xhosa. Kosa. Yeah.
Kosa.
Yeah.
I will try. I'll try it once more. Folks, pardon me. I don't mean to butcher your language. I'm sorry. I will try till
It's
I get it
fine. It's
right.
fine. It's fine.
Wow, so Kosa. Wow. And
Yeah.
so the raw of the lioness, that I didn't know that, and I find that amazing. So
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
terms of the release, was it in the intent then? You know, seeing as that's the theme of the song, and was it the
Well,
intent to release for March because of the theme?
not really, but it ended up just falling in place, and there was no best date than this one.
Hmm. So
It was-
the two of you are based in Mozambique, right?
Rhodaalia is based in Mozambique.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in between South Africa and Lisbon.
Oh, okay,
Um,
so Portugal.
yeah, yeah,
Nice.
Portugal right now, and Flaton is in between Angola and South Africa,
Okay, so, wow,
Johannesburg. Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
And Rhodaalia used to live in Cape Town, right?
She also used to live. It's
Yes.
funny because she used to live in Cape Town, and I never met her while she was in Cape Town. I met her back in Mozambique when I went there, and and when we met, this was one of the things that extended our conversation because she was telling me about Cape Town. I was like, where? So she tells me about the places. I'm like, yeah. I know what you're talking about. And it was a whole long conversation, and yeah, but it's beautiful person, huh?
Wow. So
Yeah.
Flaton, and it's funny because I've always said until today, I've always said Flaton Fox.
Well,
I've always
I'm still stuck in between the two. I don't know, Flatten Fox when it's in Portuguese and Flatten Fox in English. So it's
Oh,
it's
okay,
fine.
Flaton in
Yeah,
Portuguese, Flaton. Okay,
yeah,
so kind of ish, right? Half
yeah.
ish.
In a way,
I'm saying it the Portuguese way by
you
accident.
said it the Portuguese way, but
By accident.
it sounded perfect.
Oh, yeah. So you see, now I want to say it the proper way. So is the Portuguese way the proper way?
Where the
Flat.
Flaton. When you say
So
Flaton, yeah,
Flaton,
Flaton, yeah,
Flaton. And what does
Flaton.
it mean? Do you know what it means?
I don't know
Come
what it
on.
means. He never told
Oh.
me that. He never shared that trip with me. I just call him Flaton and it's there, Flaton
Flaton.
Fox, but I never knew what it meant.
Okay. So
Interesting
that
though,
brings us
interesting.
yeah, it is. It brings us right round to you. 40D.
Okay. Yes.
40D. Where
There
does
I
that
am.
come from? Yeah. You know,
Oh,
what is a 40D?
well, so 40
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I was being called in the early days. Back
Okay.
in the days, my friends would call me 40. And D is the initial of my actual government name, which is Decio.
Okay,
So
you don't get
40D.
away. Why did your friends call you 40? What
Man,
a
it's a
40
long
ounce
story. And
drink?
no, it doesn't have to do with that.
40
And it's
feet
funny.
tall?
It's funny because a friend of mine once came and we were just sitting, outside, kids playing, and he came around. I mean, and from out of the blue, he said 40 and da 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 da, da. And we just went with that. It was 40, we went with that. So now it became a thing for me.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Everybody calls me Mystery. Most people call me Dams. Yeah, and like
I
very
think
much
that's
like
cool.
you.
Dams is
It's all
cool.
right. That's okay. It's okay. It's a name, innit? It's a name. I'm
Yeah,
not a
it is.
producer. I'm not a producer like you, so I don't need a backstory.
Well,
so
we'll see it.
so 40 is an Afro
Yeah,
house
tell me.
producer. He's an
Yes.
Afro house producer. He also likes other subgenres in house. So
Well,
which is the favorite?
uh, in house, outside of house, I listen to music
Okay.
as a whole. Yeah, I'm in love with music as a whole. But Afro house because it has that. I think it's for the identity of it.
Okay.
It's mainly I feel more connected to it since um, it 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 was, let's say it was bred in a way around that
Hmm.
Southern Africa area, and that's where
Okay.
I'm from. Yeah, that's where I'm from originally. So I connect with it more.
Right.
But before that, like everybody else I know, I've met till today, everybody, we start in hip hop, right?
Yes.
Yeah, up until my very early age, maybe 14, 15, I was into hip hop.
Okay.
But then I started traveling to South Africa because I have family there, and I would stay
Right.
with my uncles and stuff like that. So I made friends, I would make friends, and they would take me to clubs. So the
Okay.
vibe was different. So the vibe was different back then, and every time I would come back home, I would carry that house feel, that deep house feel that
Yeah.
wasn't in Mozambique.
Okay.
So that thing started growing, and eventually, everybody started consuming that house tunes in Mozambique, and it became a thing. But again, Mozambique is in between two different subcultures when it
Okay.
comes to music and house music, which is in South Africa you get the South African type Afro house, but then you have the we call it palops, which is the African countries, African countries speaking Portuguese language.
Okay.
They have a different type of Afro house.
The fast
So
stuff.
it's sort of like a broken beat type,
Okay.
but it's almost the same. Then Mozambique is like it drinks from both those sides.
Right.
So I'm a blend of the two, but
Okay.
in that very same way, I'm more connected to the South African side because that's what I know more. That's where I've been more, and that's where family is at as well. And I've
Right.
lived longer in SA than other places in outside Mozambique.
Right. So you've released on labels like Kazakuta, the Jeff's label.
Yes, yes, yes,
Hey.
yes. Yes,
Bocas
exactly. That's
Quintas.
good. Yes,
You
yes.
know, Ghetto's
Hmm.
music, Mr. Over 12 and
Miss
EJ.
over 12. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. I have
how
actually
do
my
those
first,
connections?
yeah, the very first release of 2020 was with
Hmm.
Over 12,
Okay.
Ghetto's music. And the experience was very, very, very good. And, the if you manage to release good stuff, you will get the return. You will get the feedback from people. So we ended up building a very good relationship with Over 12. Then, but I had releases scheduled for like a very short period of time, and it was like coming like very fast. So from that point, the next thing was Sketch, and was Sketch with Wilson Kentura. He also managed to we managed to do a very good delivery. I wasn't very familiar with his platform, but
Okay.
once the track was released, I was very, very, very happy for the whole thing. And he's also a very
That's
good guy, a very, very good
that
guy.
the Vosked release. That's Wapella.
That's Wapella, exactly. Wapella,
Wapella.
which means he's coming in. He's moving
Oh,
in.
okay. It's moving
Wapella,
in.
yeah, it's
Wapella.
moving
Wapella.
in.
Wap,
And
Wapella.
it's funny. It's funny because I really didn't expect that much, enthusiasm over that song. But it,
Wow.
it was very. It was. I don't know. I don't know. Like when I finished the beat, I was still skeptical, and I always
Okay.
felt like I needed to add something and add something and add something until I got them on like I was talking to Wilson, and he was like, okay, let's just push it the way it is. And I was like, okay, cool. If you think it's fine, then it's fine. Let's do it. Then
Also
after
with
that,
mhm.
yeah, I was gonna say. Then after that was Seres. There was Seres Produções.
Satellita.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Satellite. So
Yes.
that was that's it.
There you go.
Now
You're
it's
gonna
fine. I
say it
get you.
once more. How do I say
Satellite.
it?
That's it. Satellite.
Satellite. Satellite.
Well, that's way
Satellite.
better.
Close.
Satellite,
Close.
yeah.
Satellite.
Yeah,
Satellite.
so that's
Okay.
that's where that beat, actually, the manga beat, that's a more of a broken beat type it's still Afro house, but it has that element of it kind of like skips on the drum sets. So that's the Palops type of Afro house.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
type of drum set. That's the Palops drum set. That's the
Can you
groove, as
introduce
they call it.
can you introduce me to some more of that? That
Well, I
grooves in
can.
that
I
way.
think
Cool.
I have a few of those at home, but I don't have them scheduled yet. But since you mentioned it, then I might as well just do something. You know.
Oh, okay. Look at that. You heard it here first.
Nice.
And you
And then after, so after that, yeah, Danikash, she was very kind, and she made sure to take care of the whole, paperwork, release of the track, introduced me to some people who would eventually play the track, DJs in that sense. And at the same time, it was funny because at the very same time, I was also releasing on Kazukuta with Jeff.
Yes.
And again, I did not expect the return. I did not expect the
The
return.
the Kazukuta release, that was a two
The,
track
that
EP, right?
There was a two-track EP, the modern Shangan.
Yeah, the modern Shangan
Yeah,
and meaning.
the modern Shangan. That's the Shangan is it's like the tribe from the eastern southern part of Africa,
Okay.
Southern Mozambique, northern South Africa.
Right,
You get
right, right.
yeah, you get a lot of that's where the Shangan tribe is mostly dominant. And unfortunately, there's the border, but it's all one people. So
Oh,
yeah, so it's all one people. So modern Shangan basically is the new Shangans, basically us,
right,
the new Shangans.
right.
Yeah,
Oh, nice,
and
nice, nice.
there it carries two tracks, which is one Ungatibek and the other one Umbeluz. Again, I did not expect the feedback on that one, and it was kind of huge. And we just for so you can get it. Kazukuta is in Lisbon. We released the track in Lisbon
Okay,
for the whole world. Nowadays, that's how it works. And Madora's in the house picked it up,
okay.
and they wanted a premiere of the song. So they did just that. They took it as a premiere. When they take it as a premiere, South Africa picks it up from Madora's. So they put
Right, the
the track
video
on
channel.
yeah,
Just to
the
clarify, the
YouTube channel,
video.
yeah.
So
The video channel.
for those of you that don't watch Afro House, for lots of people, lots
Yeah.
of Afro House tunes are broken online on YouTube. There's a channel called
Yeah.
Medoris in the House, which is also now a label, based in Greece.
Oh,
And
cool.
for the last few
Yes.
years, most Afro House tracks have been broken using Harry's channel. Sorry to interrupt you.
Exactly.
If you've just
Exactly. No,
if
no,
you've
no.
just
True.
joined us, if you've just joined us, this is Drums Radio. I'm the mystery one in for Dave Rankin. This is First Play, and we have the
Yeah.
delightful 40D, but one half of the production duo for
One
Wildcry.
half. One third.
Sadly, one third, one half of the production duo plus Rhodaalia, the vocalist, based out of
Yeah.
Mozambique. Internet issues today. I'm sorry that the other two were unable to join us, but 40D,
Yeah.
he's holding it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please.
Thank you. Yes. So Madora's picked it up in South Africa. I think it was Oskido and his team. They
Right.
picked up the track as well. So they placed the track
Nice.
on a Oskido show, Metro FM. There was a Dance 5 countdown, and the track started at number 5, of course, and I think in 2 weeks or three something, it climbed up to the first position and it stayed there. And
Wow.
whoa, I couldn't have expected that coming that way. And yeah, again, it was like a lot of contacts, a lot of people came about, like they wanted collaborations and this and that, and it was all beautiful from that point on.
That's nice. I have to
It was
say, I have to
everything
say,
beautiful.
it's refreshing. It's refreshing to
Yeah,
get to talk.
thanks, man.
To get to talk to the people that make the tunes. You know, technology has made this possible.
No,
You know,
thank
because
you.
once upon a time we would hear
Yeah,
the tunes,
true,
but we
true.
wouldn't necessarily get to meet or conversate too much with the guys that are banging out these bangers
True.
in the studio. So it's absolutely amazing. So you hooked up, you know, because
Thank
how
you.
we kind of discovered you. I knew of the other tracks, played the other tracks. I think the station we featured a couple of the other tracks
Yeah.
actually. But then
Okay.
Hannah Hay Atal is also
Hannah Hayes. Yeah,
featured.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. If you don't know, Hannah Hayes show Don Keller every Sunday at 5 p.m. right on Drums Radio, www.drumsradio.com. Hey, outdoor hey to you too,
Shout
sir,
out to
in the
Hannah.
background. Yes, indeed. And that track, Man of the House, Man of the House.
Oh yes,
It was a
Moth. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes.
Moth.
That was
Yeah.
yes, please. Effort Gashu.
Thank
Need
you, thank
Whitfield.
you, thank you.
Quite a newcomer on the
Yeah,
scene, but
yeah,
Effort Gashu. That's a
yeah,
collaboration that if you've been listening to Afro
yeah,
House for a few years, you know the name Effort Gashu. You know that he's synonymous
yeah,
with
yeah.
with classy productions,
With the
classics,
yeah,
musicality.
yeah.
How did that come about?
The tribal vibes. Yeah.
We lost you for a second there, so we missed what you said before Tribal Vibes. If you could rewind just a
It's funny because I
tad.
had the Okay, can you hear me now? Because the
I
line was
can.
breaking.
Yes, I
Okay,
can.
so we had back to back talks about coming up with tracks and making music and this and that. I think we spoke for a year,
Okay.
if not a year and a half. Getting around,
Wow.
we were looking for the right sound, so I would bring it. We
Mm-hmm.
would finally bring it out. But then I think they reached out in September 2020, and that's where I mean they reached out with a more decent thing to whatever we had created throughout this whole time. So that's when
Okay.
I grabbed on that thing and I started working around it, and I sent it back to them, and they changed it again. They made it a different thing, a totally different. They gave me a new sound, a different sound. They sent it back
That's
to
good.
me, and I
Mm-hmm.
tweak it again. I tweak it once more. I send it back to them, and they're like, "Okay, this is okay. This is better, but
That's good.
we are still gonna tweak it some more." So they skipped the last time, and now they send me back with a vocal. And they were
Wow.
like, "Okay, we can use this vocal," and I was like, "Man, this vocal just fits very well. It's like super dope. It
Yes,
fits very well with the
it
with
does.
the concept of the whole song."
Mm-hmm.
So that was it. I think that was the final tweak to the song. And from that
Nice.
point on, we reached out to Alex. Alex was also very kind. He liked the track, and he suggested that we proceeded exactly that way. And that was
Okay.
it. That was it. We pushed it out. Yeah, we put the moth out.
Yes, it's good. It's good. So we
Yeah.
should call it Moth, and so we should call it Moth because I wasn't sure actually whether Man of the House or MOTH Moth.
Yeah. Well, I think we call it moth. We call it moth because at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Man of the house. So moth.
Yes, yes.
It's
Oh
a
man,
shorter version.
so we go from the lioness, you know, the we go from adoring women to man of the house.
Yeah. You,
I love that.
you see,
I love I love that. Is that
support
like
both sides.
two sides of your the two sides of get my dinner? Is that two sides? is that is that like two sides of your
Empower. You
character?
have to empower
Yeah.
both sides.
Yeah, so I'm
Maybe.
No, I'm just teasing, folks. There's no. He never
Nice
said
one.
anything of the kind. I'm just playing. It's
I'm all about
International Women's Month
empowerment. That's true. I'm all about empowerment.
for every, for everybody. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And let's we're just coming up to the end now. So if we go back to World Cry,
Right.
the current single, well, yes, go back
Yeah.
to Wild Cry. The movement projects, they've only had like a few releases. Who are they? How did you meet them? And yeah, where
Yeah.
are they based?
Yeah. The movement is SA Johannesburg,
Okay.
and how did this came about? When the track Modern Shangan was on rotation in SA. Yeah, I came to meet a few, big names in the house music that side. So
Okay.
one of them was Rashid, Bobster, Rashid, all these guys in on Oskido's team. And then Bobster suggested that we did something, under the Movement Productions, the Movement Project, and that was it. We had the song with Flaton Fox, right? We had the
Okay.
track,
Yep.
and we spoke to Flaton, and Flaton agreed that we could maybe ignite something with the team in SA, and that's where we reached out to Bobster, and he was very, 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 very glad that we reached out to him because he loved the song as well. And I think how long did we take? I think we took about 3 months or something, just organizing things and making sure the track is on point, so that in order to make it ready for today. Yeah.
Yes, nice. And today is release day, March the 19th, 2021. The
Today's release day.
collaboration between Flaton Fox,
Gladly.
hey, Flaton, hey, 40D, and Rhodaalia. It drops right. So
Yeah,
DJs,
that's
if
it.
head over to your favorite digital source and buy that right now. Buy that.
Yes.
Press click, buy the track. It's called Wild Cry.
Shot.
It's on. That's right.
Shot.
The movement.
Wild
This
cry.
is what this is all about. That's right. That's right. Afro house at its finest. We are Drums Radio.
Thank
In the
you.
hot seat.
Thank you
It's
from the heart.
40D. He's here talking about his latest track, Wild Cry. It's a 1-2-2, so the tempo is
Yeah.
nice and easy. But when you hear that on some
Yeah.
big speakers, because some of us in Europe, we've been stuck in lockdown. We have not been to a club for over a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
DJs,
Yes.
pack this one
Same
in the
here.
crate because we're just about to open up. London's soon going to open in July. Some other countries are on the verge of opening up. Make sure this one is in the crate to bang. 40.
Yes.
It's been
Yes.
our
I'm
pleasure.
coming. I'm coming to London. I'm coming
Make
to
sure you
London
stop
so I
by and
can
see us.
witness that.
Yes, please do. You'll be here
I
for
will.
July. You
I
can
will
fly.
definitely.
Hey, I love that. Have you
I
been
will
to Have you been
definitely.
to the UK?
Definitely.
Have you been to Have you been to
Not
the UK
yet.
before?
And
Not yet.
whoa, I've never
Soon.
been to the UK, and I'm sure
Soon.
I'm doing it soon, very soon.
Excellent.
This
Excellent.
conversation is
So
the starter.
yes, definitely, definitely. There's all still to come. All still to come. If you are a
All
Drums
right.
Radio fan, make sure you listen out for more 40D tracks right here on the home of Afro House. 40, it's been a pleasure. We've loved having you.
Yeah.
Next single that you
All
have,
mine.
make sure
My
that
pleasure.
come our way and we'll be back for first play. Give us some studio
I
stories,
will.
the collaborations, all the little spice. Did he give us any spice today, peeps? Did we get some spice from 40 today? Are you going to leave us with a juicy nugget for
I think it
Wild
was
Cry?
just a little bit, not that hot. Hot. Sorry,
Just a little bit of spice. Is there a juicy nugget that you can leave
just
us
a
with
little bit.
today? Maybe not. Maybe not. 40?
Maybe not. Next time, I'm sure I will. I'll have some.
Okay. Boss man, it's been a pleasure. We are Drums Radio. This
Thank
is
you. My
40D.
pleasure.
You've been tuned into First Play. This the spot where you hear the music first. Afro House, all the way. Boss man, more fire. We talk soon. Thank you.
Bye.
If
We
you
talk
joined
soon.
us
Thank
today,
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir. If you joined us today, I'm the mystery one. You've been listening to First Play. He was 40D. Amazing track, Wild Cry. Make sure you get out there and buy it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click now. Thank you. We'll see you same time. Dave will be back in the hot seat on Tuesday.